Have you had enough of being a hero? Tired of wandering the wasteland and plugging every hole with your own body? How much longer do you have to make life better for those who do nothing but demand you fix their problems? Are you sick of pretending that every half-rotted ghoul deserves a hug and a second chance? You are, right? Then welcome to Nuka World. Here, villainy is not a choice, it's the house special. Your relationship with your mom and dad was perfectly healthy, and your drunk uncle never touched you in any inappropriate way. And yet, congratulations, you are the bad guy anyway. A proper busted material. You slaves for your needs, with conspiracies. Lead raider gangs, shake people down for caps, or just mow everyone down like wheat in a field.
Yeah, so I wanted to safe go. The guy said he'd rather die than open it, so I shot him. Scrapped the safe for 20 caps, bought a beer, bought a bald toothless chick, and I'm good, man.
Be yourself and finally take everything from life, while pointing a gun at life and its loved ones. We are waiting for you.
Damn, I wanna go there. But before we move out, we need to reach level 30, so let's clean up a bit around here. Specifically, let's deal with the city manager, who also turned out to be a synth, took his corrupt secretary hostage and locked himself inside. By cranking our diplomacy up to 180%, we push the poor bastard to the point where he starts killing everyone.
Hell, I'd vote for him again.
After we put him down, the hostage, grateful for being saved, decides to attack us as well. But at least once in my life, I must act like a noble man. I won't raise my hand against a woman. So I silently watch as Piper unloads an entire magazine into her, and then I loot the body.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And finally, we help Valentine track down all of Eddie Winter's holotapes. It wouldn't be right to abandon a partner in need after everything he's done for us, which is almost nothing. And besides, I gave my word, and a Brotherhood Sentinel always keeps his word. Oh, level 30, fuck off. We arrive at Nuka World and are immediately greeted by resistance that seems deeply committed to dying for absolutely no reason. Every bullet feels less like violence and more like a public service. After that, we head underground and find some poor cunt pretending to die, begging us to save his family stuck in Nuka World. Lucky for him, I'm in a great mood, so I offer him medical treatment. He turns it down, which immediately raises about 17 red flags. After pressing the idiot a bit, he cracks and admits he's not wounded at all and was trying to lure us into a trap. No big deal, buddy.
Well, that wasn't very nice. Killing.
Come on.
While we were riding the train toward our future paradise, the raider decided to try and scare Brotherhood of Steel Sentinel, the destroyer of the Institute, Synth, and children of Atom, the husband of a dead wife, the father of a 3-month-old, 70-years-old dead son, and just a handsome, charming, middle-aged man. So after completing the Raiders reality show with its lovely obstacle course, we finally reach the boss of this dungeon and defeat him. Not without the help of some gauge and his wonderful super weapon designed specifically for idiots in invulnerable power armor. So after we put down the armored ape who turned out to be their overboss, the raiders take a moment to reflect and then immediately appoint another armored ape as overboss, me. They give us a tour of our new domain and show us the penthouse we'll be living in. After a brief crash course on how things work around here, we go meet each gang. There are 3 of them. First, the Disciples. These cunts woke up one day, choose violence, and never fucking blinked again. They live to cut, torture, and kill, preferably in that order. Imagine Ramsay Bolton, but mass-produced, as with fewer writing constraints. Honestly, an excellent gang, especially their leader. A true ray of murderous sunshine. Second, the operators. They don't stab people unless there is a profit margin involved. Money is their religion and they are very good at converting others to it. Give them robberies and protection rackets and they'll move mountains for you. Their leader, another dangerously charming woman, is open to business, optimistic and clearly betting on us. Though her brother...
Great. Another nut.
William.
And then there's the pack. Painted up clown freaks living with dogs, eating dogs, hunting with dogs, and from the way they act, probably shagging them too. I have no clue what these animals even want. Their boss ain't some dangerous femme fatale, it's a sweaty muscle clown who can't even shut his mouth up while we are talking.
Fuck's a resume.
So no promises, lads. Your future looks uncertain. So let's get to work. We need to clear out the entire Nuka-Cola park and split its zones between the gangs. Since there are only 5 areas, equal distribution is impossible, so we start with Nuka Galaxy. After shredding the local scrap metal, which to be fair hits pretty damn hard, we begin searching for star cores for the main computer, which unfortunately are scattered all over the galaxy. We find them inside, outside, on the rides, and even in some kind of mini arena where I entertain a completely non-existent audience.
Incredible. Do you want more? Well,
No,
we'll
I don't
give
want
you
more, please. I even checked the bathroom hoping to find glory holes, but no, there is a star core line there too. In the end, after collecting 20 of them, we shut down all the robots, wave goodbye to that cool set of power armor we never got, and hand the zone over to the operators, because honestly, who else had the competence to run such a complex system and actually profit from it? Next up, a delightful castle where a local ghoul decided that Halloween is a holiday that lasts all 365 days of the year. He generously sprays the park with radioactive urine and keeps raising ghouls for fun. After a short walk around the area and beating the shit out of everything that dared to lift its head out of the dirt, not without a car accident, I'll admit, we corner the old ghoul who has clearly been drinking way too much Red Bull and turn the place into a meat grinder. After that comes a full cleanup of the remaining enemies, because God forbid our servants actually have to move a finger themselves for once. A castle full of tortured dungeons, gothic aesthetics, and attractions of pain and suffering belongs to no one other than the disciples. Make yourselves at home, lads. Next, we head to the Nuka-Cola bottling plant, a place that once ensured a never-ending supply of diabetes for children, turning their blood into sugar syrup, and now offers nothing but a steady stream of beatings from everything living inside and outside the facility.
Nuka-Cola Quanto. Nuka-Cola Quanto.
Get your ass up, motherfucker.
Twice the carbohydrates. Twice the
Armored nuclear crabs, malfunctioning robots, and their majesties the king and queen will not let you get bored. In fact, they'll actively punch you in the face. If not for my power armor, which I will now be buried in and never remove under any circumstances, I would have been spread on bread, eaten, defecated under a nearby bush, then consumed again by flies, dogs, and other professional eaters of shit. My essence would have been lovely redistributed across the entire region. Luckily, that doesn't happen, and the plant, of course, goes to the operators. I'm expecting rivers of money, my dears. Deciding to take a break from this crusade, I return to town to check how everyone's doing and pick up a job from this beauty to kill a former disciple raider. Turns out he's not hiding somewhere in the wasteland, he's sitting right in Diamond City in a bar. My attempts to politely ask him to step outside for some fresh air are met with refusal, as are my attempts to provoke him into violence. So we're left with no better option than blowing his head off and splattering everyone sitting nearby. For reasons unknown to me, this act negatively affects my relationship with the locals, who just a minute ago considered me the second coming of Christ. So me and my pet raider end up fighting the entire city. The choice is made, and there's nothing to regret here. Luckily, the Brotherhood of Steel Knights hanging around the city after the Institute's defeat decide to support my fascist tendencies, and together we butcher almost the entire population of Diamond City, except for the children you can't kill and few quest NPCs. Ad Victoriam, bro. And so we continue clearing out Nuka World, this time heading to the western-themed attraction, where worms start jumping out of the ground at us. After completing one robot's quest, tricking another and shooting the third one, we clear the entire area and headed over to the Disciples, turning a world of pistols into a world of knives. After that, we move on to the Safari Park, where we encounter dinosaurs and a local Mowgli who asks us to follow him. Well, following definitely is not a problem. Our friend Sito is so close to nature that he gets tangled in its roots and refuses to go anywhere, so we reload and follow him to his den, where he introduces us to his family. family. This is his dad, his mom, this is his brother, and this is his stepsister. Now we need to get into the laboratory beneath the safari where these lizard freaks are cloned. To do that, we convince the alpha gorilla to come with us and head to a trailer outside the park where we find the password to the lab entrance. Inside, we perform a full sanitation sweep, finish off everyone outside, and then awkwardly admire our oversized child, who has found new friends and new family in us. Almost feel bad for him, especially since I'm about to flood this place with raiders and their dogs from the pack. I hope you run fast, my dear Cito. And just like that, the entire park is cleared, all territory is distributed, but still no bitches. Well, this is not the end. The next stage begins. Expansion. My bastards desperately need employment before boredom pushes them into turning on each other like spiders in a jar, so we pay a visit to Shank. He calmly, thoroughly, and with unsettling enthusiasm explains how our criminal enterprise will expand into the Commonwealth, and suggests we begin with the capture of our first outpost. I pick one in the absolute middle of nowhere, far up north on the map. We'll just shred the locals like cabbage, get to make our presence known, and the operators will help me with that. I seem to like them a bit too much. Hopefully the others don't decide to knife me for it. We move out, clear out the trash, and settle in. Now, I need to make sure my raiders actually have something to eat. For that, we head to this settlement, which turns out to be inhabited entirely by ghouls who are still living a civilized life. Early aging from hard labor clearly is not a concern for them, so I try to convince them to supply us with food.
Doesn't sound like a great offer. Think I'm going to pass.
Alright, let's try threatening them.
It ain't happening, alright? Now, I think you ought to go.
Bribery doesn't work either because I simply don't have any money. Fine, let's beat the shit out of their leader.
Listen. Look, I just can't do it.
Well then, this appears to be our strategic dead end, my friends. The conquest is over. Because let's be honest, who in their right mind would ever be afraid of a heavily armed man in power armor politely demanding tribute? But there is a way out. We consult our economists and they proudly present a persuasion grenade. A dense cocktail of drugs, both heavy and recreational, designed to gently loosen one's grip on reality and personal boundaries. Now, to be clear, we are currently employing an entire gang of sadists who would gladly flay a settler alive and decorate the fence with him as a warning, but apparently this is not a recommended approach. So instead, we return to the ghoul, peacefully resting after a long shift, hotbox him like it's high school all over again, and observe a noticeable increase in his willingness to cooperate.
You're gonna start working for me. Look, I just can't do it. So I think you...
Oh, come on, I still have to pay.
How about you and I make it? You'll pay me?
Everybody, I got some news. Don't think you're gonna like it.
Shank informs us that some local gopniks have rolled up to our outpost, demanding that we get the fuck off their territory. Imagine my surprise when these guys show up not in their dad's hand-me-downs, but in proper gear, and nearly kill me on the spot.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
After dealing with that little misunderstanding, we now need to bring the raiders at our base to a state of complete ecstasy, during which I almost burst the last blood vessel in my brain because naturally I don't listen to smart people explaining how this game actually works. In the end, I slapped down a boost steel and some turrets. Everything else in life they can take for themselves. And we move on to capturing the next settlement. This time, I'm bringing the disciples, and we won't be playing nice. Following the same proven system, we provide my favorite sadistic degenerates with turrets and a handful of beds, specifically so they have to smell each other's feet, and move out toward the far south of the map. This time, by some divine miracle and the kindness of our hearts, we convince the idiots to clear out peacefully and hand the territory over to the pack. Well then, now we've got a solid foundation, and everyone's happy.
That was a lie.
The painted clowns and dog meat enthusiasts didn't like not being treated like people, so their leader, Mason, staged a rebellion and seized the power plant supplying all of Nuka world. Finally. We face toward the power plant at maximum speed, methodically thinning out the most wild creatures along the way. Grasshoppers the size of rat roaches, yet capable of hitting like bloody elephants. At some point, I sincerely doubt I even survived the journey. When I reunite with my wonderful women, whose loyalty is now beyond any doubt, they gently ask whether I might consider resolving this conflict peacefully. Are you nuts? Of course not. He's good as dead. Yes, thank you. This is literally what I said. I then naturally choose the dumbest possible route, because someone with a jetpack can go anywhere, if only the person wearing it also had a brain. Not alone. Disciplined eradication of everything overly colorful and aggressively alive, we finally reach Mason. Several bullets later, he stops being a problem and the Nuka world lights up in celebration. Gage is visibly moved. Apparently, as a child, his father never took him to amusement parks. Instead, he took him to drunk uncles who... No, that's too much. That's definitely too much. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with me? In our closing conversation, Gage explains that betting on me was the right choice, that the gangs are united and loyal because we were willing to bleed alongside them. In a brutal, cruel, deeply unfriendly world, that kind of solidarity matters. A sense of belonging. A family. Nah, of course not. I'm just a completely unhinged fucking idiot.